Howdy folks, we are finally doing the much requested boat tour. This is Titan, as you've probably heard it, the 1989 Haines Hunter 16R, and yeah, I basically want to walk you through it today, walk you through the setup, and answer any questions. You've seen the rebuild video as well, so I'll kind of make reference to that. If you haven't seen it, it will be up here. The boat sits on a Boeing trailer, which I like. I only got that about a year ago. This is it at the back here. It's got these wobble rollers here. They don't tilt, which I kind of like, less prone to breaking. I do love this self-centering keel area here with the roller in the middle. That's really helpful. This is the nice sticker that I bought. I think I just got it on eBay. So yeah, got this little 90 Yamaha two-banger here, which yeah, it's been pretty faithful. I do say the word pretty deliberately because it was always turnkey until one day it just basically blew a piston. Simplified to, it blew up. And yeah, I had to get the whole motor rebuilt. If you were following me and following the journey along that time, you would have seen that I was out of action, out of commission for a while there. I got the head rebuilt. It cost me $3 grand, got it done. Here it is. Okay, these little motors have the cowling oil tank, which you got to remember to fill up, but they're not that big. So in my opinion and advice, you need to have like a spare oil canister, which I have in my boat under there, in case that runs out, because honestly, I could deplete that in a day with the amount of Ks that we do. All right, before we jump in the car, put it in the water, just need to speak about this part of the trailer, which is the drop down wheel. You would have seen it in the beach launch videos, which always go really well. Basically, this wheel sits here, kind of got like a hub bearing wheel kit on here already, so it's able to spin, and it's on this bar here. I don't know if you can push in there and see, but it's on this bar here, and basically, if we pull that lever there, it allows us to spin this, drop the wheel down, and then this whole boat trailer combo can spin on this wheel. So it's really handy for us to beach launch when we're like launching in more kind of remote, I guess, locations. It's actually really helpful too, because if you bust a bearing on the road, you can pull this off, pull the hub off, and just put it on the trailer back there and just get on your way home and sort out all that nastiness back at home. All right, I'm gonna jump in the car, I'm gonna drop it in. Hopefully that all works all right, and I'll see you in there. Something I love about the 16 is that I can actually launch it, retrieve it all by myself. Whoa, she's heating up. Takes her a little while, a bit rough at first. What you missed is the me trying like 4 or 5 times. But we got there. Once it's warmed up, it starts really easily, but on cold, yeah, it just takes a little bit of a What a stellar day as well. This is absolutely beautiful. Man, I can feel that sun on me. I can feel summer coming. It's turned from winter into spring. And yeah, this is our first really hot day, like 27 degrees. So getting super pumped. I've been asked to do this video for like the last year, many times in the comments and the DMs. And finally, I found the opportunity to do it. I don't know why I'm not at uni. I better check that. But I had the day off today from uni. And then my mate Jacob here also had the day off. So he's come out to help me. So everyone, thank you to Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. Okay, let's send it. Lots of things to show you on the way out there. Lots of questions you've asked. We'll address them. We got to get out there, anchor, see what the water's like. And I don't know, we'll see. Hey. Thankfully, you can land the drone from this little boat. Just gotta be careful with it. So yeah, I guess we'll just start from the back here. I don't know if Jacob, if you can see this step back here. I glassed it up myself. I would like another one there, but what are you gonna do? I have mechanical steering there, which obviously I would like hydraulic, but you know, I'm not made of money. Coming forward a bit, I guess we got all this kind of rubber here that I've stuck down. This just is good for, you know, when we're spearing, we're throwing in like heavy things that are gonna damage everything, which you can see there's a lot of scratches. This is 2-pack paint, which is a bit more easily damaged and scratched, but it stays looking really good. There's arguments between gel coat 2-pack, but that's just what I had at the time. But for real, like with this boat, you know, I could keep it looking like boat show ready, but in my opinion, and after all the work I put in the rebuild, it's just, for me, feels like I just want to use this thing, and I don't care if it, you know, gets a couple scratches. I just want it to allow me to have awesome experiences, get out there and live my damn life. Would also mention in the rebuild video that it's a decrepit ski boat, so it had this ski pole on it. I was like, all right, you know, I'll ski, I'll use it. So I put this back on it, which I do use at times. When I got this boat, it became a point where I was like, yeah, the fish fit in the esky, and then it became a point where I was like, nah, they actually don't, and they have to, like, I was bending them and stuff, so I had to get a long esky that could actually fit the length of the fish. So these long eskies are quite good. This is a 100 litre frostbite esky. It's warped a little bit. These buckles aren't ideal. Like, I don't rate it that highly, but I like that it's long. The fin's usually next to the esky. This esky works, and I also move the esky forward and hook it in here sometimes for like a bench seat if I'm going out for a little bit of la-di-da. I'm gonna move this esky forward. I'm gonna show you what's down the bottom here, and we anchor everything down in these boats. Like, we do like to send it, us Spearos, so you need to anchor everything down. So unhook that, move it back. And so at the back here, we got that oil reservoir I mentioned. I don't know if you can push in there, but yeah, that's got spare oil there so I don't run out, which I have. I've run out, what, 10 Ks offshore with the boys. You guys know who you are. It's not fun, so you'll pack one of them if you do that. And then I got 2 big automatic bilge pumps, which, you know, we need. They pump hard. So I've got, can you push over here and see? I've got this little outlet hole where the water can be pumped out. You want to over-engineer the bilge pumps that you have in your boat, just so you can get out of any strife quickly. On the little questionnaire thing I put on my gram, what do we got here? How much air does it get at full send? Southern spearfishing. Let's see. Let's get a bit sendy. It's a bit flat, but let's see what we can do. All right, waves, they're coming for you. Yeah, that's how we usually look when we're heading out diving, just like full send. This boat has 2 speeds. It has stop and go. So when we're going, like, you really need everything locked down, as you can see. So I got that locked down. Then I usually have my dive bucket here strapped to my esky, and then yeah, everything else kind of strapped down. Basically, like when I first started diving in these boats, and you would have seen lots of boats, you have buckets everywhere. Everyone's got their own buckets. So we now have one bucket which has all our kind of gear in it, so that's really handy. I just got I got a big camera there for underwater, which I strap back to that. Then we got my side pockets, which I made. So I usually carry guns in there. So you keep a dive flag in there as well. I usually don't have it on that side actually, so it's not in the way of the step. Oh yeah, one of the most exciting bits. A lot of people comment on this little addition, which I spotted on Sean Woolley's boat. He has this, and it's basically a little stretchy cord, and basically this allows us to collect all our float lines and have that there, so it's kind of out of the way. It really helps clean things up. All about kind of efficiency. These are like solid fiberglass panels. The floor previously was plywood, glassed in, and it was delaminating all this stuff. So full fiberglass floor, molded floor here, which is hectic. And I got this massive fuel tank. This is really big for a 16-foot boat. It's 135 litres or odd. And it's been custom made for this well, so sick for us to be able to get out there and do massive trips and not run out of fuel, which we do a lot less of these days. A few people have asked like how far I can go with this massive tank. Like, I don't really like to push it, as I don't like to run out of fuel, so I don't exactly know how far, but I've done some bigger trips, like over 100 Ks, and then also idling around all day boating the boys, and we haven't run out of fuel, so it gets me around. But you'd be surprised, that little 92 stroke, it's thirsty. Would love a 4-stroke. We could get a lot further in a 4-stroke. Oh yeah, you guys asked about an average day out as well. Probably maybe $60 or something. But then a big day, when we're on our big trips, it'll cost us about $120 in fuel for a day out. Just came out the heads a little bit, man. We've been blessed with a cracker of a day. It's quite decent viz. It's 10 or 15 meters. A few things I want to address that people have asked about: top speed, my anchor system, and just other bits of my setup. We might just jump in and have a look for a cray. I'm not really that confident that we're gonna get crays here, but I just want to get wet as it's pretty clear. So, and everyone's been asking about my anchor setup. People like message me about the anchor setup, and like I try really hard to answer everyone's messages, reply back, but man, replying about the anchor setup's been really hard. Like I find it hard to communicate that over text. So here is the infamous anchor setup. Basically, I have an anchor bucket in the boat. It's strapped in. I have a decent 10-pound anchor, a fair bit of chain, for, probably as long as the boat, 4 or 5 meters of chain. And basically, what's awesome about it is that, you know, for us, we don't have to get up the front, you know, balance around with an anchor up the front. It's really nasty. You can just throw it in over the side, just let it hit the bottom. I've dropped in this rope here, and then I attach it to a rope that's already connected to the front of my boat. See that front bollard there? It's connected to there, goes around there, comes around here, and you want a way of connecting this rope to the rope from in your boat. I also have this nifty little bungee here that I got from Whitworth's. You want one that you trust, obviously. And I've got rope spliced into that so that even if the bungee breaks, it's still got rope attached to these stainless steel clips. Really not going to break. Then I just attach these 2 ropes. There's a few ways you can do it. I've got this little Spectra which you can use to attach to it. I also used to have this metal little contraption. I'll flick a photo on of it. I don't have it at the moment because someone dropped it in the water on Australia Day. That thing was sick. Really good way of connecting them. Another way is just to do a figure 8 knot, like so. I might just show you that figure 8 knot now. So that's just basically you just grab it like that, around, under, and back through. Reason why this is probably less recommended than the other 2 techniques is that you do lose a little bit of rope strength when you do that, but still, with the bungee, with this not that big boat, I'm not overly concerned. So then once they're connected like that, you just simply throw it in, and you haven't had to jump up the front, balance around with an anchor, or do any of that. So really easy way of doing it. Just gear up, get in for a quick swim, and then we'll keep talking about the boat real quick. Let's see. A few little crays. It's a bit hard around here. Sometimes they're holed up quite deep, and yeah, I don't have that long arms. These little things. Hey! All right, we're on the move now, so I thought it'd be a good time to talk about handling. This boat, as it is a deep V hull, and Haines hunters are extremely well known for their swell cutting and good handling abilities. So when this thing's underway, going straight ahead, it cuts through waves so well. I really like this thing when I'm going straight on or in a following sea. I'm not trying to boast, but people who've been in my 16R say it's one of the best riding boats they've been in for its size, and it really pushes above its own weight. And that's like not me saying, it's what other people say, and I think that's due to the weight, and I'll speak about that in a little bit. I would say side on, when I'm getting washed from the side and I've got a multi-directional sea, not so good, the old 16R, and also at rest, quite rocky. I just want to talk about this front section here and what I've got organised here. So I've got my food esky that hangs up here, this nice sturdy Pelican esky, my anchor bucket there, filming gear here. Then I have like my day bucket there, which I'll have like my towels and anything I'm taking out for the day. Got some safety stuff here, EPIRB, fire extinguisher, and then up top we've got the dash here, Lawrence Hook 5. Does me pretty well. So, you know, matches the size of the boat, but sometimes it doesn't stay on and we have some electrical issues. But all in all, I can't complain too much. I've raised the steering here, so it's a lot easier to, run a gun, and keeping it simple with dashes, revs there, fuel gauge there, and then I have my UHF there. Got some lights here that I put in, and got my safety bag there, which has a whole lot of safety stuff. I'll go through that as there's something important that I bring out that not everyone does. I want to show you another time. So I've got dual battery set up here. They're big Century Marine Pro 780s. They work good for me. That's a whole lot of weight up the front. They're 22 kilos each, so that's like 40, 50 kilos up the front here, which I think contributes to this boat running quite well and it being well weighted, punching through swell. My battery isolator up the front here, which is there, so I can isolate either battery or I can turn it off. This keeps it up out of the way. I notice a lot of people have the isolators down the back, but this keeps it from getting wet, though it did cost me a lot in cabling. My own little homemade first aid box. I notice when the first aid boxes you kind of buy, they're not suited for these environments. They corrode and they're really hard to open. So I just bought this little box. It's like a fake camera box. I just bought it off eBay, and this is waterproof. And then I have all my first aid goodies in there, which keeps it all dry. And then I just spray painted a obvious color in case it's not me who's looking for it, if you know what I mean. Okay, one of the last things we've got to address before we answer all those other questions is top speed. I wouldn't say I write home about the top speed of this vessel since I dropped down to a 90. It gets us there. It doesn't get us fast, but what's important is it gets us there. But let's just check out what a 90 horsepower motor does on this 16-foot boat. All right, we got the electronic speedo ready. We're gonna see what this thing does. Oh, it's so fast! Up a bit, get the full speed. Yeah, I told you she wasn't impressive. That was what, 50 Ks was it? And 27 knots, I think. I've definitely hit with this rebuilt motor, I've hit 30 knots. But before the rebuild, I think I had a bit more speed. I was up closer to 35, but man, I would love a bigger motor because it's good when we're, someone yelled something. It's good when we're boosting along and punching into waves. I wouldn't want any more, and the ride is unreal, but when it's flat, when it's calm, I would love some extra pace, some extra horsies. Maybe one day. Usually I can't shut up about my favorite part of the boat, which is this wave breaker with these hectic little windows in it. Made by Darren Higgins, I've mentioned. Absolute weapon of a thing. It helps the ride so much to have something sturdy to hold on to when you're flying through the skies. Anyway, we're just going to cut forward and run up and get some food, and then we'll answer the last final questions and flick through any other questions I might have missed. Clear anything, address anything while we're here. We're doing this, so we got to do it properly. The rewards. It's been a lot of filming. We deserve this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're good chips. Okay. Questions. What do we got? I'm just having a flick through. Real common one is, if you could change anything about your boat to make it more practical for spearfishing, what would it be? If I could get a bigger motor, more horsies, without it being too heavier, then I would change that. I wouldn't go to a 140, I'd probably go to a 100 or a 115, but one that's light enough that's not going to be too back heavy and affect my ride too much, because I do love the ride on this boat. But the reason why I say that about the bigger motor, it would allow me to get places quicker when it's calm, but also it would solidify my decision to add in some extra mods. So something I'd love is to have a little freshwater tank, a little washdown, and right now with how kind of slow it is, I don't know if I can afford to put in that extra weight. I would also then put in a bimini and that kind of thing, so that us white boys are not getting burnt like we are today, because we're getting bloody roasted.
Absolutely toasted.
So there were 3 things that I would change. Would I recommend this boat for a traveling Spearo? Hell yeah, this is like a great size to be running up and down the coast. I do heaps of that, and I'm like going into parking lots, pulling up anywhere. I feel like I can really whip around with this little thing and it not be too much of a hassle or too costly. So yeah, I would. What motivated me to get the boat to where it's at today? I would say just the freedom and lifestyle. I think the ability to explore, the freedom that it gave me, that was what motivated me to get it where it's at. I think I covered a fair bit today. I feel like you guys got a good understanding of the boat, where it's at the moment. As I mentioned, I rebuilt this thing so I could get out there when I want and explore and adventure new places. So I'm going to bring you guys with me when I do that. There's a few mods that I would like to do, upgrades that I could make. When I make those decisions, you'll be right there to see them. Stick around if you want to see that by subscribing, ring the bell if you want to see videos straight away. I hope you enjoyed the boat tour. See you soon.